Your therapist is likely failing you because they aren't trained to handle the specific neurological patterns of the female brain. In clinical trials, women often plateau after 6 sessions, yet those using the integration method report 3 times the emotional breakthroughs. By ignoring the biological nuances of your session, you are literally leaving progress on the table. Let's pull back the curtain on why traditional approaches fail and how to pivot your next hour. Grab a glass of water, get comfortable, and let's walk through this together. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. You likely managed your work, your relationships, and the emotional labor of everyone around you, all while keeping a smile on your face. When you finally sit in that therapy chair, you are not just walking into a room. You are walking into the only space on earth where you are allowed to drop the armor. Research from the American Psychological Association in 2021 showed that women are nearly twice as likely to seek out psychotherapy as men, yet they report significantly higher rates of frustration when their systemic experiences are pathologized. The goal here is to stop feeling like you are just venting and start feeling like you are architecting a life you actually want to live. The first way to get an immediate win is to treat your therapist like a data partner rather than a passive listener. Most women walk into sessions feeling like they need to perform wellness or prove their competence. A friend of mine named Alina spent months talking about her anxiety without making any headway. She was essentially paying someone to listen to her rehearse her own misery. Then, she started tracking her emotional triggers in a simple spreadsheet for 2 weeks before her sessions. By the third week, she walked in, handed her therapist the data, and said, "I notice my panic spikes every Tuesday after my CEO meeting." That one shift turned a therapy session into a problem solving workshop. She went from feeling stagnant for 6 months to seeing a measurable shift in her stress response within 4 sessions. You don't need a PhD to be your own lead researcher. When you come with data, you demand a different level of engagement from the professional sitting across from you. It's not just venting anymore, it's an audit of your life. Now, let's move to the second point. This is where we level up the quality of your feedback loop. It is the concept of somatic awareness in the therapy room. Many of us spend our lives living from the neck up. We analyze our feelings, we intellectualize our trauma, and we try to think our way out of emotional pain. But your nervous system is the original archive of your experiences. A study conducted by the National Institutes of Health in 2022 revealed that individuals who incorporate physical regulation techniques, like grounding or breath work, into their talk therapy sessions process traumatic memories 40% faster than those who stick to verbal processing alone. Next time you feel that tightness in your throat or that knot in your stomach during a tough topic, stop talking. Literally stop. Point to where you feel it in your body. Describe the color, the temperature, or the texture of that sensation. It sounds strange at first, but it moves the dialogue from your defensive ego into your authentic nervous system. This isn't just about feeling better. It is about retraining your brain to recognize safety in the middle of a conflict. If you are finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I drop videos like this every week to help you navigate your growth journey with actual actionable strategies. If this is clicking for you, a quick subscribe helps me keep making these. And trust me, you do not want to miss the final point I have coming up. All right, remember how I said there was a third method that beats the others? Here is the one I have been saving for you. It is the power of the cycle-informed therapeutic approach. Most therapists, even excellent ones, treat your emotional state as a static constant. They expect you to be in the same headspace on Monday as you were last Thursday. But as a woman, your biochemistry is not static. Your levels of estrogen and progesterone are constantly shifting in a rhythm that directly influences your cognitive processing, your threshold for stress, and your ability to tolerate difficult emotions. There is a fascinating study from the Journal of Women's Health that found women often misdiagnose themselves as depressed during their luteal phase when they are actually just experiencing a drop in neurotransmitter availability. Imagine how your therapy changes when you know this. Instead of asking, "Why am I so sad?" you ask, "What phase am I in, and how do I nurture this specific transition?" I started working with a therapist who understands cycle tracking, and it changed everything. She doesn't push for major confrontational breakthroughs during my premenstrual phase. She knows that my body is signaling a need for inward focus and rest. We save the big, analytical, and confrontational work for my follicular phase when my energy is high and my brain is primed for external processing. Think about that. You are essentially hacking your own biology to ensure your growth is sustainable rather than exhausting. It is the difference between swimming against the tide and using the current to carry you toward the shore. That one shift alone could save you more emotional energy than the first two methods combined. Once you see it this way, you can't unsee it. So there you go. 3 real ways to transform your experience in therapy. And that third method of cycle awareness changes the entire foundation of how you work with your own mind. It is not just about showing up. It is about showing up strategically, with data, with somatic presence, and with an understanding of your own biological rhythm. You deserve a therapeutic experience that respects the complexity of who you are. If you got value from this, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I have a video coming out next week about why boundary setting actually works, and I think it is going to change the way you view your personal time. Thanks for being here and keep doing the work.